Well, guys, Star Wars is back.
Hell yes it is. Now you guys get to see how a real movie is made.
Excuse me? Do the Avengers movies not count as real movies?
Well, I guess they do. But the Star Wars movies are legendary, whereas the Avengers movies are still new.
The Indiana Jones movies are legendary too.
Well, yes, but we haven't reviewed any Indiana Jones movies, have we?
Would you include the prequels in those legendary movies?
Yes, I would. Even though they are not as good as the originals, they still tell one epic story.
Well, anyway, hello everyone. I'm Batman, and this is the review of Star Wars The Last Jedi. So, what did you guys think of the newest addition to the Star Wars universe?
I think it was definitely enjoyable, but there were a few parts that were kind of disappointing.
Yeah, my thought's the same.
Really? I thought it was great.
Is there any movie you don't think is great?
Twilight, not a fan.
Well, obviously.
Anyway, I think it was a great addition to the Star Wars universe, but obviously, it wasn't perfect.
My favorite part was Kylo and Rey teaming up to take down those Red Guards. That was awesome.
I agree, that was extremely awesome.
What's kind of interesting is that they didn't have a traditional lightsaber fight like they've had in all the others.
Is that necessarily bad?
No, I just think it's really interesting.
Rogue One didn't have a traditional lightsaber fight either.
Well, I meant from the main series, not Rogue One.
One thing I really liked about the movie was Poe. I felt like we didn't see that much of him in The Force Awakens, but this one really showed how much of a badass he was. Speaking of badasses, I can't believe they completely wasted Captain Phasma again. What do you mean? She had a pretty cool fight scene with Finn. True, but she was only on screen for a couple minutes and was seemingly killed off again like in The Force Awakens.
So basically, she's the Boba Fett of this trilogy.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was one of the many disappointments of the film.
What would be another one?
Snoke was kind of disappointing. First of all, he only had 2 scenes. And second, he was just killed off in a lame way, especially since they made him seem really powerful.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I especially didn't like it because they'd never revealed who he was.
They basically just used him as a plot device to turn Kylo to the dark side.
You mean Ben to the dark side.
Oh, tomato. Speaking of which, let's talk about the reason he turned to the dark side in the first place.
Yeah, I can't believe Luke almost killed him.
I was extremely disappointed with my son in the movie. He was not the man I raised him to be.
What the f*** are you talking about? Yeah, didn't your brother-in-law raise him? In fact, you barely knew him at all.
Oh yeah, good point.
I do agree though. He wasn't anything like he was in the original trilogy.
Well, of course he's not. It's been 30 years. And from what they talked about in the movie, a pretty eventful 30 years.
Well, yeah, but you mean to tell me that he was willing to kill his own nephew?
Well, the dark side was trying to tempt him. And after what happened with Darth Vader, it's understandable why he would be so afraid of Kylo destroying everything he had worked so hard to build.
Yeah, I guess so.
Another thing I didn't like about the movie was the whole casino thing. Especially since they failed their mission, it all seemed really pointless.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like that either.
I also didn't like all the unanswered questions that are still unanswered from The Force Awakens. Like, where did the map to Luke come from? Or why did R2-D2 randomly wake up?
Yeah, especially the map, because Luke even said in the movie he went to that place so he would never be found.
Yeah, they also never explained who that old guy on Jakku was, or how he got the big part of the map in the first place.
Or how did Maz get Anakin's lightsaber?
I mean, come on guys, those are some pretty minor details. Do they really matter that much? Yes, because if there's no map to Luke or lightsaber, this whole trilogy wouldn't exist. Ah, shit. We sure are saying a lot of negative things about this movie. Are we sure we liked it?
Well, of course.
Yeah, it's Star Wars.
How could we hate it?
Plus, it's not like the negatives outweigh the positives. For example, the beginning battle scene was really cool.
Also, bringing back Yoda was really cool.
Definitely. Also, I think the acting was really good in this movie, especially from Daisy Ridley.
I agree. Adam Driver did a great job as well.
Also, some of the humor wasn't too bad. The Porgs didn't become the next Gungans or Ewoks, so that was pretty good as well.
I agree. Also, one of my favorite scenes in the movie was when Admiral Holdo light sped through all those First Order ships.
I agree. That was extremely awesome.
Meh. Should have been Admiral Akbar. Also, the ending with Luke becoming one with the Force, I think that was a great send-off for the character. Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah, until he comes back as a Forced Ghost in Episode 9.
Yeah, good point.
Honestly, I can't wait until Episode 9. I just wonder what they're going to do with Leia since Carrie Fisher died.
I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out.
Well, anyway, that was our review of The Last Jedi. We'll see you guys next time when we review Avengers Infinity War.
Oh, heck yeah. 10 long years have been building up to this.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys all die.
Oh, shut up.